Really interesting for him to bet here. What do you bet a 7 on the turn? Man, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. This is close, maybe. Not really sure what to do here. I think it's just pretty bad hand. I was debating like limping behind here, but like, I don't know. It can be dominated pretty easily. This hand doesn't really play that well. I think this is close. If this guy went the cutoff for the hijack, I'd probably be 3-betting this hand. Sorry, the cutoff for the button. With a couple of regs in the blinds. I'm considering 3-betting, try to get heads up with this hand. I think it might play better multi-way here. Like, I guess we could get squeezed, but we can even call a 3-bet in some situations. And to go multi-way with a chance to flop a set in position against a few players seems like pretty decent. I suspect we'd see some 3-bets with some better pocket pairs. So getting set over set is not all that scary in this spot, except for by the original razor. Interesting that he has a raise here. I'm not sure what types of hands, like ace jack exactly, maybe pocket twos. And doesn't seem like he'd be raising like king 10 there. Yeah, ace jack exactly. Okay, we get 3-bet here. Pretty standard size 3-bet. Being out of position kind of sucks. Maybe we should be folding this hand a bit. He should be betting like his whole range here on this board. And we're not doing much better here on this board. I think it's pretty big sizing, actually. I think we just have to give up here. Out of position. Maybe a spot where I just want to complete when there's 2 weaker players in the pot. I think this hand's close to an open. Especially with maybe a weaker player in a big blind. Hmm. And I guess you could just have even hand like pocket fives, limp pot. Just gonna give up. We're calling two spots. Small blind, I feel like is probably like pocket pair heavy, but maybe some broadways. Big blind just leads here for about half pot. I expect him to do this with some draws, some 10x. Maybe like 9-jack or something. I mean, we're not continuing with that hand. A bunch better hands we can continue with. This is board we get to range bet on. Okay, against an under the gun open, I don't think we can do much here. If this was like a cutoff first button, I would be 3-betting this hand. 2 and 21. I mean, maybe we could do it still. A little bit larger. Okay, against very weak player here. We're gonna like to bet. We have a pretty high equity hand. Okay, against an under the gun 4-bet here. Expecting me doing this like ace, king, aces, kings, queens, jacks, maybe 10s, maybe some ace, queen suited. I don't know if he's ever doing this. light. But we have a pretty strong hand that's suited and we're in position. Okay, he bets small here on a flop. Not surprising. It's kind of the sizing I would expect. I don't know if he would bet small if he had jacks. I mean, maybe sometimes. Otherwise, I don't think he's even doing this with ace queen, maybe. I mean, ace king and then maybe ace queen if he has hearts. I don't know. I just think it's maybe a little too soon to fold here with our hand. Okay, he bets super small again. 8 into 42. That's like 1 in 6. We have to be good. I don't know if we're even good that often. I mean, it's almost like he's just trying to set us up for like a river jam here. Man, we're getting an amazing price, but our hand is just like his 4-bet range. It's just doing really well against this. I think we just have to let this hand go. We have a lot better hands we can have. Come on, dude. Let me top up. Okay, we're called by the big blind. It's a board we get to have a lot of bets on. We have pretty stable hand and we have a backdoor flush draw. I think we're okay checking behind here and sort of expecting to call some turn stabs. Okay, he checks again and we pick up another flush draw. We actually pick up the flush draw and we have a straight draw now. We don't really need any protection and we have some showdown value. So I think checking behind is fine. Okay, and then on this river, we're gonna go ahead and value bet. I think it's gonna be pretty tough for him to call. But if he does have like an ace or a king, he might look us up here. So the guy in the small blind hasn't played a hand. Big blind looks like pretty average. Hasn't 3-bet, but it's very small sample. I think I could maybe open this hand from the cutoff, depending on who's in the blinds. It does look like the big blind is a weaker player. But maybe not. It's kind of hard to say only after 27 hands. But V-pipping half of them. This one's close here. We got a player sitting out, so I think it's all right to open this hand. Here with the king of spades, we get to have a lot of bets here on this board. Here we 3-bet from the small blind after opening under the gun. I think we just have to call here in position. Okay, it's a good card for our range. For this hand in particular, I'm not so sure. Like, we don't have a ton of equity. I don't know if this is a hand that I like. I think he should be betting a lot of his stronger hands here. I think we can check back this hand. Yeah, I don't know. We have the best non-paired hand. Once he calls our flop bet, he could be calling really wide. I think it's okay for us to check behind. Okay, he's checked twice to us now. Oh, and we made a straight. We're gonna go ahead and start betting here. Okay. Now I think I'm getting called by like almost every pair, unless I just bet, even if I bet huge, probably. We're gonna squeeze nines here. So I think we're just gonna check back and hope we win with no pair. Okay, so weaker player. Let's see, he 3-bet, so I don't think he has many sixes here. So I think we're just calling, probably chopping. Okay. We're never folding. Do we think we can get called by a worse hand, like by no flush? I think we're only getting called by flushes. Sevens. Maybe it's better to check call there. Not going to be doing this always, but definitely sometimes with ace here. Okay, we're definitely squeezing ace king. We're going to squeeze big. Okay, original razor calls. Okay. This is a super dry board. Unfortunately, we're out of position 4 ways, and this guy has 26 cents. I think we'd even be checking like our aces here, probably. See, the problem with this bet is it kind of caps us if we just call. I guess just consider it a check through. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking might happen. So now, I mean, 5 into 40, we're getting 8 to 1. And like, I mean, do we think an ace or a king is good? Original razor. I mean, maybe. I think he definitely has hands like ace queen and king queen. It's pretty bad river for us here. Yeah, I just expect him to have a queen a lot. The way he played this hand, raise the flop. Can we call here? The way he played this hand, yeah, he raised the flop. Check back the turn, and then that's big here on the river. Ouch. Okay, we're just happy to take this hand to showdown. This guy's definitely a fish. He opened Jack 8 suited, called big 3-bet. You would sometimes say about this hand. It's a weaker player. We just keep the SPR high. I think we can 3-bet this hand sometimes. I think we're going to this time. Okay, this might be an open. Okay, here we pick up some showdown value. We're definitely, I'm not sure if we're check calling. Depends on the size. What the hell? He just checked back queen 10? Queen 10 off's pretty close probably, I think. I think we're range checking this board. Maybe. It's close. With a garbage hand, I'm inclined to bet. Oh, that helps. Okay, I think like he maybe overstabs if I check here. Okay, so I check back the flop and then I get 3/4 pot size bet here. He could definitely be checking some queen X on the flop. He could be doing this with maybe even Jack X. He could be doing this kind of mergey. I don't know with that sizing. I don't suspect it's all that mergey. I guess we just check call maybe depending on the size. This one's close, but we're gonna go for it this time. Okay, what hands like does this make sense for him to be betting with? I guess like could have Jack X. There's some misdraws here. It's a pretty big size. Okay. Flush draws. Guess what hands was he betting on the turn? Flush draws and straight draws. And if he missed his straight draw, he could potentially just hit his king. I think we just have to fold here. I don't know if he would, you know what, man? He's basically like, that's a flush or nothing, right? But maybe it's a flush. All right, it's a weaker player here. I think we can expect to make an extra couple bucks if we hit our flush. Though he did check back the flop, so he's probably not that strong. Can we 3-bet this hand? I think sometimes. This is a spot where I'm very tempted to 4-bet. Okay. Weaker player opens for 1 under the gun. This guy's 3-betting. Okay, not that often. I think we can flat call here against a weaker player. The big blind looks like, oh yeah, the big blind's a fish as well. Play a pot in position here with like a decent implied odds hand against 2 weaker players. Do we have a couple back doors here? Don't really expect to get raised, check raised. It's a pretty cheap price. I consider raising myself, but there's, if it were a heads up maybe, but I think we can continue. This might be loose, might be pretty loose. I don't know, it's a very cheap price. We could pick up some equity. Okay, when he bets again, like, he's betting small again. I think we may be able to get him off his hand. His hand feels pretty weak. When he's betting small, it feels pretty merged. I think we can put in, we can try out a raise here. If we do get called, we do have some equity. Well, I guess you could just jam. Okay, do we ever have the best hand here with the 5? Like I could see him calling with ace, king, diamonds. Betting here, like, is he ever folding a pair for a half pot bet, a better pair? I don't think so. I think we just have to check and hope he has ace high or a flush draw. Kind of would expect him to jam those hands, but yeah. I think this hand's a little bit too weak to call, but I think that we can raise. Okay, we're gonna 3-bet here with 10s. That hand. Okay, on this board, we have a lot of, well, we have an we're at the bottom of our range. We're just gonna bet and hope for the best. Okay, when he calls, he's probably filtered towards some, I mean, some jacks, some queens, hands like that. I think we're done with this hand, I think. think if this were a button open, there may be some merit to 3-betting here. We have a limp from a weaker player here. We're going to juice it up. He's likely raising any better hand than this. So I think we're ahead. Our hand's pretty playable. I just want to play a bigger pot with a weaker player. Interesting that he's betting here. Guess he could be doing this with King X. Could do it with a 3, maybe a 4. Okay, so he checks when the queen comes. That makes me think his range is super capped. He could possibly have ace high. So that river could help him, but I think depending on the sizing here, we may have to call. Like he has boatloads of air in his range. I don't think he's checking back a king. I don't think he's checking back a queen, but maybe. And like, I guess if he gets lucky and hits the ace, or if maybe he could have backdoored his way in with 10 jack, I would expect him to keep betting though. I suppose he could have a hand like 5s. I'd expect him to raise those pre. I don't know. I just think he has a bunch of air when he checks back to turn. I think like he's probably over bluffing. Oh, he's got 5s. That's rough. Maybe it's a spot where we can raise rather than just call. Not sure. Okay, here with ace high. We have some backdoor straight draws. I don't think it's the worst hand for us to be betting. Okay, we get 3-bet. We're gonna call. This guy's pretty tight, so probably be proceeding with caution, or at least appears to be tight over the small sample. It's a pretty big bet. I'm just gonna let it go. Okay, he leads here. I think we can have some raises here. I think when he leads, he's like probably betting like an 8. So doesn't hurt when he folds, but maybe we want to keep him in. We have a monster hand. Maybe we just call and let him bluff again. Yeah, I guess when he leads, he doesn't have a queen. Sometimes he does. Here with the suited hand, we're definitely We're just gonna call here. It's the small blind steal. Okay. Weaker player limps the button. I think we can actually just call here. Okay, he checks flop. I think we can just start attacking now. Okay, I'm not so sure anymore. I mean, we have like 0 equity, but we have all the 8s. Ooh, thank God we got bailed out here in the end. Wow. That would explain it. I think we have some leads here. I guess I should have been suspicious when he checked that flop. That's just a flop you should have a ton of bets on. It's a pretty good flop for us. I think pool plays worse when check 2. I think we just have to start trying to get value here. Okay, what types of hands here can a fish be betting? So you could have a hand like, I mean, he could be turning 10 jack into a bluff, not really realize that he's bluffing. You have big bets here. 10 jack would make sense. We unblock the flush draw. Okay, I mean, he has more aces than we do. I think we get to have some check raises on this board though, and this is probably one of them. Especially for that sizing. Okay, we don't pick up any equity on the turn. So I think we may just be giving up. This is probably border range checking. I think we could check call here. I don't think we're like, could be betting hand. I mean, like the thing is like even all his bluffs, we're not very far ahead of anything that he has here. Okay, that's a card that's good for us. That may slow him down. As the three better here, I think I get to have a lot of bets on this flop. Nines might be like the one of the hands that's, you know what, with the 9 of clubs, I think that's a bet. Okay, so now there's 4 to a straight. Hope their fours just win here at showdown. Yeah, I think we just sort of pray we get to showdown here with nines. Okay, we turned our hand into a bluff. Do we get like a 10x to fold, jack x to fold? I don't think he's ever checking back a queen. Is our hand too strong to bluff? Okay, so I don't think he's checking back a queen on the turn. We have a blocker to the club. I feel like we could just raise him. Try to get him to fold, like, I don't know what types of hands he's betting, really. Like, it doesn't really make sense. In which case, maybe we should just call. But like, he's super capped. He doesn't have a queen, so that's why I'm like, yeah, I think that's fine. Get him to fold tens, jacks, kings. This one's close. Okay, it doesn't look like these guys are super aggressive. There's a weaker player in the pot. I'm pretty happy to see this flop multi-way. Weaker player in the blinds. Okay, three times pop bet here from the weaker player. Could be a bit merged, but I mean, see, we have a pair and we have some backdoor draws. I would expect the pre-flop raiser. I don't expect to get check raised often here. I guess he could have a hand like ace king. That would make sense to check raise here. Okay, interesting that he doesn't just shove. I guess like 8-9 is really the only hand of his that I'm beating. Probably just has a lot of ace X he's doing this with. We didn't pick up any equity in the turn. I guess we just let it go. We're gonna call here. Okay, we're gonna plan to check raise this flop. He goes with a larger sizing. I still think like we have a monster here. I still think we're okay check raising this flop. This will mean he has to call 5 into a pot that is, make it a little larger. Okay, here. We're gonna see bet the larger size. It's a good board for us. He's 10 off, borderline. I can probably sometimes 3-bet king nine suited. Like it's a cutoff open. Okay, he limped. He's probably even raising his ace highs. Okay, 3 by the small blind. I expect him to be linear here. Put me in position. A very playable hand. Let's get after it. Okay, sport's great for him. We have a gut shot. I guess I just wish there was a spade. And I wish he bet smaller. 8 might be good. Sport's a bit better for him. We got to be somewhat cautious, but we do have a gut shot and backdoor. We block a spade. I think we're okay to see bet here. We're going to be 3-betting ace king. Three-betting ace king. Okay, can we ISO here with king 10 off? Probably. Okay, he goes huge. I think we're just jamming for that size. Okay, we pick up some equity here in the turn. I don't think we have the best, like I think we benefit from getting some folds. It's a pretty good card for us. All right, he's thinking about leading. It's really interesting. Guess he's saying he has a flush. Sam play better as a, I think it plays better as a check call or a block. I think we'll just try to check call. Yeah, I'm not calling there. This convoluted line is probably under bluffed. Okay, he's blocking. Because he could be doing this with like eights. I don't think he's checking back flushes. I guess a 5 or an 8 is good here. Yeah, but it's like so small, I just have to call. Okay, I think I can 3-bet 3 sometimes. It's hard to make a pair in this game. That is a pretty great flop for us. If we did have an overpair, I think we would be betting. Okay, what's he continuing with there? Pretty wide, I'm sure. I think we can keep betting actually. As a bluff with our open ender, semi bluff. Okay, yeah, I think we're, what's he folding? Can we get him to fold pocket pair here? Oh my gosh, he called me the 7. Okay, we need some protection here. King of clubs, we are going to be betting on this board. Okay, it's pretty big 3-bet. I think for that size, we probably just have to fold. Let's see flop against these two guys. Okay, we're going to ISO here. I suspect he could be betting often when check 2 twice in position, but I don't think this is the hand we're going to continue with out of position. Yeah, we completely whiffed this flop, but it's pretty hard for him to have anything. definitely ISOing with king nine suited. So we get 3-bet here. I don't know. This feels close. We're suited. We're in position. We need like 33% pot entitlement. It's probably close. Okay, weaker player limps. We're gonna limp behind. Okay, we flop a double gutter. We can have some check raises here. I don't know if we need them. I think with the queen of hearts, it's a bit better. Maybe it's more of a call with the queen of hearts. Do we think we can ever get him to fold a better hand? Because we had 0 fold equity there. Well, I'm really tempted to 4-bet small here. Wish there was a spade out here, but this will do. Or 5 of diamonds. What is this? A limp pot. Okay. Maybe we have some check raises. I don't know. This is probably close. Out of position. I think we're just going to have to let it go. There's a limper. Size up a little. Okay, I mean, looks like we had 2 weaker players out there. Do I have any fold equity here? Pick up a gut shot. I don't know. Seems like a bad spot. Man, it's a big bet. Guess the board got scary. Like, kind of makes sense for him here. Okay, no spade. Guess we just have to. It kind of makes me want to bet not having a spade. Okay, they both just call my small bet. They were ISOing. They both just call my small bet. I don't think either one of them has a flush. Is it too mergy to bet here? Nine's a pretty strong hand. Cold four bets are always super strong. I'm gonna be out of position. Getting a great price. Okay, when he checks back, I think he's kind of weighted towards like queens or jacks. Now I certainly think he's weighted towards those types of hands. Maybe he has a hand like ace queen. Tens, queens, yeah. Didn't get the reload. Okay, I three bet here. Flop a monster. We flop top pair. Now we just hope he has a 10. We'll go multi-way with a weaker player here. Okay, that's a huge bet. Kind of wondering if I can just flat. Bring this player along and then we just get it in on the flop. I don't know, it seems a bit sketchy. We have some check raises here against this size. This board's pretty dry. Set ourselves up to get crushed here. Wow. That sucked. Dash could benefit from protection. Weaker player. I block his backdoor and I block the diamond. I think I'm okay checking this hand, but I think he's overstabbing. He's basically getting at here. Now do I need to have check raises here? Probably for protection. I think maybe we have enough showdown value. We're check calling here. Okay. Check raising here with the backdoor flush draw, bottom pair. I think people are folding a lot to check raises. People are c-betting too often, so folding a lot to check raises. That's near the bottom of my range there. Guess like no pair would be bottom of my range, but. Here with the ace of hearts and the ace of clubs, I think he's going to play worse when check two. Actually a pretty bad turn for us. I don't think we should check again. I think we can start getting value trying to. I think we can still get value from some one pair hands. I would expect him to have bet like a lot of his straight draws. Guess like if he had king 10, maybe he wouldn't bet. Maybe I should give him another chance to bluff at that one. Yeah, I definitely should, right? Like he's got air. This one's close. Yeah, I think we benefit from some protection here. This guy likes to call with a lot of hands, so we're going to size up a little bit. Be range checking this board. Here we're getting a decent price for being in position. We have a pretty good hand. Okay, we're gonna be check raising this hand on this board. Okay, pretty easy fold here. Wow. Okay, we have a big fish and a big blind. This guy's 3-betting, I guess 2 out of 12. Like I don't really have a big sample. I like to call and hope to get the fish in the pot. This guy looks to be a weaker player. Gonna ISO here with King Jack suited. We have all the best hands on this board. We could be checking back like aces, but he doesn't know that. We have a gut shot, or we have some backdoor draws. Well, backdoor straight draws and 2 overs. Okay, Interesting. So fish actually 3-bets. Now we're getting a pretty good price, and we are going to be in position in a spot where we could flop a set. In a big pot. Might be a spot to just jam some dead money out there. It's a board we get to bet a lot on. 3-bet pot. Problem is I expect this guy to call with a lot of hands, so I'm not really sure how to deal with that. Actually, I guess that makes sense. Types of hands is he calling there with? Pocket pairs, broadways. Trying to decide if I had fold equity. Whoa, uh-oh. This is awkward. You could be raising just a king there. I guess like could be raising flushes as well. Does he ever have worse flushes than I do? Hmm. 7 into 30. I need to be good like 25% of the time. I have the third nuts. When he raises the turn there, it seems like he has a flush. But I have 2 diamonds. Got bailed out. It's probably just a fold. Being tired, I'm playing bad. Okay, ending this.